Proverbs 1:10. B'ni im yefatucha chataim al toveh. So here we get a full translation with this, my son, so still the vocative address. And then we get the protasis of a conditional here. If the sinners, or if sinners entice you, do not, and we would say here, do not consent or do not give in. It could even be do not enter. So we'll talk about that here. At the end, we get the apodosis of the conditional. So let's look at these pieces. Again, we have the vocative here, or the vocative of address, my son. And then we get if of the conditional. The verb here is a PL. It's an imperfect 3 MP with sinners as the subject. And then it has the 2ms suffix on it. The root is patah. Patah, not patach as in open, but patah. And this is a denominative form of the noun petit, which is to be simple. So here we have the stative verb to be simple. The idea here is that if the sinners cause you to be in a state of simplicity, meaning they cause you to be in a state where you can't discern rightly. So they're enticing you is the idea. So that's a little bit of a roundabout way of saying it, but the idea is if sinners entice you, then do not consent or go in. Now, the verb here has some issues. The root is probably ava, and I think that that is right, which means to consent or to give in. But notice we have a tav at the front telling us it's an imperfect, so I'm just going to add that here. The problem is now we get this aleph at the end, which could be some sort of Scrabble transposition between these two letters. But I'm doubtful about that. I looked up Gesenius, and I'm going to show this to you just because I find it interesting. And what we have here is the same verb, if you can see it right there, with Proverbs 1:10 in Gesenius. And what he's arguing here is that in Aramaic, you sometimes get this aleph at the end, and then he says in Hebrew it's less frequent, but you may have that as well. And so the verbal form that we have here, I think what is happening is you've got the O here, like we see with something like Amar, Vatomer, right? The aleph quiesces, but then leaves, and then this Hey is replaced by a final aleph like we saw in Gesenius. So a bit of an odd form there, but I think we've got a call imperfect 2ms of the root ava, do not consent.